Hi everyone, this is Dalton Burkhardt, and this is my presentation on special education and the interviews that I had. Under the child find procedures, I got to interview the administrator, a teacher, and a para. The administrator discussed many uses of the ASQ3s, the MCHAT, ASQ-SE, and how we had different ways that referred students to Arrowhead West or into the program. The teacher discussed a little bit more about how the co-op doesn't count for the kids in the screening clinics, and that if they had concerns that they need to be done by teachers. And then the para just did not know how to answer that. The para's her second year, so she's a little unfamiliar with procedures and program. The most challenging part of their role, when I asked him, the administrator was discussing not having the services provided for the children that need it. And when she noticed that children did have the services, sometimes they didn't need them as quite as bad as some of the others. The teacher was planning on providing a individualized instruction was her hardest. She discussed how the two students could be going over the same topic and that one would need a little more instruction than the other, and just being able to incorporate the adaptations and modifications into the lesson. And then the para was just discussing about having the proper resources available to her. After asking them about the most rewarding part of their job, the administrator told me that it was about seeing that light bulb. Most of them, the teacher, administrator, and the para, were all about seeing the kids get in the topic, understanding the subject, and then just being happy that they learned it and proud of themselves. They love seeing that the parents are becoming more comfortable with the program and the education staff as well. Um, it's pretty much just seeing the progress of the students and the parents as they go along their educational journey. Advice on supervision for the educational staff or special educational staff. The administrator discussed about having a good workable schedule that has high expectations for everybody and they adhere to. The teacher once again discusses about communication and building relationships. She told me that she had an administrator that did not communicate any issues or concerns, and that they just kind of let the program run on its own, and they felt like they were lost and left out just because they were special ed. And the para agreed. She's definitely big on the communication as well. How do you work effectively with parents? The administrator says they keep a line of communication open. That could be through telephone, face-to-face interviews, IEPs, and they just want to let the parents know that their children are our main priority. Same with the teacher. They talk on a weekly basis, and then inform the parents of the child's progressions and strengths as they go on through out the school year. And then the pairs, they don't really get to sit in too many of the IEPs and have one-on-ones with the parents, but there is a pickup and drop off for the bus, and when the parents are coming to get their students, that's when the pairs actually get to interact a little bit more with the parents. How do you work with regular education teachers? The administrator says as long as everybody knows their roles and understands and works together, that's the easiest way to do something and just make sure everything gets done. The teacher wants the administrator to visit with regular ed, or special ed teacher wants to visit with regular ed teachers on a weekly basis and ask how their special students are doing. And they just want to share success stories. For instance, if a kid with a teacher told me didn't understand certain colors for my preschool kids, when they finally got it, they want to be able to collaborate and communicate with each other and be like, hey, yeah, that was awesome. Like, they finally got it. What'd you do? This is how I did it. Maybe you should try it next time. It's just working together. And then the pair wants to hold discussions and work with appropriate strategies. Pairs in my class from the special ed, we definitely all worked together. And she mentioned that how she really appreciated how I communicated and worked with them as well. What advice do you have the first year administrators? The administrator said just absorb as much information as you can. Don't make big changes. She discussed a previous administrator that we had that she was big on if it's not broken, she's going to fix it anyways. So it was definitely pretty hectic for us for a while. And then just so if it's not broken, don't fix it. Just keep it going. The teacher just talked about staying connected in the classrooms and just being seen. If she said that if the administrator was just hiding in the office, they would feel like he wasn't interested in the success of the special education program, and it's kind of daunting and just very like just emotional and just hard for them to understand what the administrator wants out of them. And then the pair just discussed working with your staff and just listening to their concerns, listening to their issues, listening to them about what resources they need, and just being that person there for them to help them understand their role and how to accomplish their role the most successful they can. And describe the role of a special education teacher and principal. The administrator discussed that the principal is there to support the teacher, and the teacher handles the issues throughout the day and creates a positive learning environment. Um, the teacher discusses that the principal is the main person, and the teacher reports the issues and concerns to the principal, and then the principal evaluates how the teacher is doing and for instructional needs and and evaluating student performance. And then the pair discussed the teacher educates the children and the principal just oversees the building. So she was just more on the particular role of teachers teach and leaders lead. Characteristics for aspiring administrators. The characteristics they explained to me was kind of almost all the same. They wanted somebody that was open-minded, understood somebody that was there for them but not micromanaging, and then somebody just that understands that they are a special need program and they are going to require special services. And after doing this, my reflection of the interview, I really enjoyed it. I got to learn a lot about the special education program and what people's thoughts, like the administrator, teacher, and pair, what their thoughts were in regards to the education program and what a building leader could do more effectively or more efficiently to make sure that the program is running at a sustainable level. And the evaluation, how did the answers compare and contrast? A lot of the answers were really the same. They wanted an administrator that was there. They wanted an administrator that was involved, somebody that would listen to them, help them with their issues and concerns. Um, they were not really too different. The para, just because of her lack of experience and lack of knowledge in the field, her answers were a little more blunt and just, hey, we needed this, we needed this, while the administrator and the teacher were more direct with what they wanted out of an administrator. And projections of me as a future building leader in the special education department and my responsibilities in regards to special ed is I would definitely be as involved as possible. I love my special ed classes right now, and I feel I agree with a lot of what they thought was the most rewarding was seeing the kids understand a certain topic, and I want to be there to see that as well. So I want to be involved as possible, understand the rules and laws and regulations of the SPED program, just to make it as successful as possible, especially in regards to student success and services we provide for the families. But that is the end of my presentation. I look forward to watching everybody else's and having some good discussions. Thank you.